What's going on, YouTube? Back again with another video. Big Bear Boxing Squad, man. This is a little bit different than what I normally do. Normally do the whole gaming, trying to explain what's up with boxing, certain breakdowns and stuff like that. I felt like I really had to get on here and do a breakdown of the most anticipated fight. I think Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. I've been seeing, on both sides, they may think one fighter is scared of another fighter. The business of boxing is very complicated at certain points in time. But I do feel like neither one of these fighters are scared of each other. They both have high ring IQ. They both have, just mind-blowing skills. And a lot of times it's almost like a superpower. You put your power against somebody else's power. Now, it is fighters out there that will run around and, they don't really want to fight each other. They don't want, if they undefeated, whether they got one loss, they don't want another loss, because it's millions on the line. A lot of boxing fans, they don't know that. There's a ton of money on the line. If you take a loss, you take 2 losses, 3 losses, it's so much money to be lost. That's a part of boxing that I think that's not really publicized. It's not really focused on. If you take $5 from me, I never get it back. If I do enough to say, like if you run in a business, if you screwing over enough people, they not gonna come back. You're gonna start losing money. So you are the business. If you're a boxer, you are the business. No matter if you want to be the business or not be the business. But I really feel like neither one of these fighters are scared of each other. Timing is everything. I hope. I don't know, but I hope they do fight. Just a little bit of an insight. Both, like I say, both of them are talented fighters, man. They the two best top dogs in the welterweight division. If these two put on a great performance, man, who knows where this will be ranked for either one of them, whether they lose or win. I think that they could both put on a phenomenal show. They both can celebrate as time goes on, at like older fighters. I think that'll be pretty dope. To me, it would be. But I just want to kind of get on here and do something a little different. Especially with this fight, I think that both fighters are, like I say, they talented. They I wouldn't say they got a lot to lose, but like I say, if you get that one loss or something, people gonna look at you different. I got the feeling if from each fan base, if one lose, I told you so. And, sometimes just because you got a certain fan base don't mean somebody won't, they not viewing the other fighter. And if they get a loss, viewership goes down, pay-per-view numbers goes down. You may not look like the same fighter, depends on what happens in that fight. So, just think about it as business terms. If you're a fighter and you are the business, because that's what they're promoting. Once you become a fighter, your name is on the business. So either you can have what I call an undefeated business in boxing, or you can have a business with a couple of losses. But taking, for instance, Manny Pacquiao, I think he had 8 losses all in all. But his name was so big that it didn't matter. And every fight and every fighter is not the same. So every business is not going to be the same. So, you could take a loss. I may be able to take a loss, but you may not be able to afford a loss. Let's put it that way. So if your name is not big enough, say like on Terence Crawford situation, he's been fighting for top rank ever since I've known. So people claim that he haven't fought the best, which you could agree or disagree. So his business might not be as bright as Errol Spence if he took a loss. So if Errol Spence took a loss and he on PBC, but people say, hey, his resume is better, so he can come back. He can either get a rematch or something like that. It may not look as bad for Errol Spence to take a loss, but if you come back and Terence Crawford take a loss, people say, well, we knew he wasn't good enough anyway. So he may take a bigger loss by taking one loss. No matter how many people, how many fighters he done beat. I thought the Kell Brook fight was good, but people got questions. He may not have been the same Kell Brook. Same thing with Sean Porter. You know, if any fighter is talking about retiring before a fight, you almost put in question: are you fighting the best person? And that has nothing to do with Terence Crawford at all. It's not his fault. You know, so if you get into a ring, you got to perform, right? And I feel like that Sean Porter was performing because I felt like he was winning. But Terence Crawford, being Terence Crawford, figured him out. And once he figured you out, he gonna do something to you. That's just what it is. So I feel like he did get a very good version of Sean Porter. I feel like just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He got a really good version of Sean Porter. But was Sean Porter the same Sean Porter that fought Errol Spence? You see what I mean? You know, you put, you know, business up against business, and especially the hype around this future fight. Hopefully it's more than a fantasy fight. I hope we get it. If I had to bet, I'd say maybe it's about 75% chance we get it. You know, if business don't get in the way, if they move it to 154, we'll still get it. But I would like to see it at 147. I think 147, they both kings, no matter win, lose, or draw with each other. They can say, hey, we can share this memory forever because we ran that show. We may have beat each other up no matter which way it go, but we ran this show. But as far as all this talk about, you know, trying to pit one fight against the other, I don't think neither one of these fighters are nowhere near scared of each other. I don't think it's no, you know, Errol Spence, well, he ain't calling out, he ain't stepping in the ring and stuff like that. You know, business is business. You know, that's why you build a team around your name and to keep you in a certain, you know what I'm saying, certain flow of what you got going on. You know, when you get a business, you hire people when you start getting big. And so that's what Terence Crawford does. That's what Errol Spence have done. You know, when they start getting big, they start hiring people, and that's what you got to do. But all this notion with these fans and stuff like that, I don't think these fighters are, you know, scared of each other at all, at any point. Even if Errol Spence don't respond to something that Terence Crawford say, maybe Errol Spence don't care what he say. Maybe Terence Crawford don't care what he say. You know, and even behind the scenes, I think them guys respect each other. I think even after the fight, they will probably become friends. And even if they didn't, they still have respect for each other. But, you know, just for the, you know, my assessment of the breakdown, man, Errol Spence, you know, he got a, you know, working with Derek James, he got a hell of a jab. You know, he got great footwork. He got a lot of power. Maybe, you know, some people question, you know, maybe he don't have one punch knockout power, but he has the type of power to get you, you know, get you up out of there. You know, fit 6th round, 7th round, if you're taking a beating, just like Danny Garcia. I honestly never seen nobody make Danny Garcia just look so normal. Even in his losses, you know, he still didn't look normal. But a lot of people don't talk about that when they break down Errol Spence's fights. But also with Terence Crawford, on the other hand, he get ridiculed a lot about who he has fought and who, you know, when he fought him. You know, anytime you get into that square circle, man, you putting your life on the line. And I think that's a little bit unfair in some ways, in some regards, of Terence Crawford, because his situation was different than Errol Spence's situation. The situation for Errol Spence, he had everybody on his side of the street. And a lot of them guys didn't, you know, the promoters didn't want to work with each other. You know, that's just what was in the public. I don't know. But that's just everything that you read or seen on other boxing channels and stuff like that. That's what you know, that's what they were saying, you know. But, you know, it's a little bit unfair to Terence Crawford in a way when I really think about it, because, you know, business may not have been what he wanted to be at that point in time. So, but as far as, like I say, I don't think these fighters are scared of each other. I think these fighters are two kings of the division. Everybody knows it. I think they should want to fight. You know, it could be a big spot in history. And I think they they could share something like that for many years with their kids, their families. A lot of times these fighters, they get older, they kick each other's butts, and they like, hey man, we did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I heard Mike Tyson telling Gervonta Davis, you know, the four Kingsmen, they need to fight. You know, with Ryan Garcia, which he ain't active enough. At the time, Teofimo, And Devin Haney, he's like, y'all need to share that moment. And I think he hit it. You know what I'm saying? That's what should happen. They should share that moment together. They may not be the best of friends right after the fight. It may take a couple years. And if say that Errol Spence win the first one and Terence Crawford win the second one, they got something that they can have in common. But I think the fight got a 75-85% chance of happening as long as business is straight. I think that Errol Spence is doing the smart thing by fighting Dennis Ugas. If I was Errol Spence, that's who I would go after and fighting Ugas first, so you can get that belt out the way. Because say if he went and fought what the fans want and they don't really understand the business of boxing, he go fight Terence Crawford, right? And he lose, right? So he never got a chance to get that third strap. And Terence Crawford to go back and beat your Dennis Ugas, and then he's got all the belts. So it makes sense for easier, I wouldn't say an easier fight, but an easier fight to be made fighting you Dennis Ugas. They both with PBC. And then once he get that belt, he have 3 belts to go up against Terence Crawford belt. And Terence Crawford have a chance to get the other 3 belts, So like I say, you got to understand the business of boxing. You got to understand the common sense of just business. Everything ain't about the fan can scream bloody murder or this person scared. You got to ask yourself, would you be willing to get into that ring? Would you be willing to get your head bashed in for 36 minutes, 12 rounds? Would you be willing to put that type of money up on you, with a loss or something like that? So you have to, Floyd Mayweather set the blueprint for all fighters to do certain things in a certain manner, just like Gervonta Davis, even though I do agree with some analysts and stuff like that. The competition do need to be a little stiffer, so they can share that moment, win, lose, or draw between him and Devin Haney. Who knows if Shakur Stevenson will jump up and be one of them 4 kings, or I say 3 kings because, some of these other fighters, they don't really want to fight. But or you could say if the Kambosos fight happened, and if the Kambosos fight happened, either Kambosos win his belts, he'll be a part of that team, I think. But if Lomachenko, if they make that fight and Lomachenko was winning, or he was a win, I would think he'll be a part of that conversation. And I think all of them guys need to share that moment. That's what the fans want to pay for. As a boxer, you want the fans, you want to keep your fans happy. But you also got to have common sense with business too. So I can kind of see it from both angles with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. I see it from both angles. As far as fans screaming out, oh, they don't want to fight. I think both of them want to fight, but timing, execution is everything. But I'm going to wrap it up for this video, man. It's kind of cool doing something a little different. You guys get to see my face and, all that good stuff. But I will have more content to come. I will have more breakdowns as far as playing Fight Night. Hopefully we get a new Fight Night, man. I've been playing that game for years. But, I want to kind of do more things like this right here. So you guys can see me and hear my voice and stuff like that. And get my take on certain things that I can't show in a game, or I use the game as more of for visuals and stuff like that. I think it's a good way for people to fantasize about certain things that they haven't seen yet. I could just sit there and play a video game, but breaking it down, telling you why I did certain things. If you really look at the boxing match, you can see me doing realistic things in there. Yeah, not all fights going to happen exactly how I do it, but you get to see an actual visual of a fight that hasn't happened yet. So it's kind of cool doing that. But I have all my links down below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know who you want me to break down. Let me know if you like this video. Do you want to see more videos like this? And I can definitely get them. But all my social media accounts will be down below. You can see me rocking this Tai Chi, all my gear and stuff like that. So shoptaichi.com. I get it out there as quick as you can. I can. I'm slipping up, but you can see all my stuff in the back, like my artwork and stuff like that. All of that stuff in the future. Hopefully this year I can get a lot of that stuff on my actual clothing. But I got a ton of artwork and stuff like that. So, but it's just a joy. One of my first loves is boxing. And then like I say, I got the art and clothes, fashion. You can see how I got all my stuff tied up. So, but let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you think about the video. I like to get on here and debate certain people. So, even in the comments, man, but all, just all positivity. I don't want the bad drama. I want all the good smoke. That's what I call it, good smoke. Yeah, I'm gonna cut this video short, man. You guys have an awesome day. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, man. And, I feel blessed to even have the subscribers that I have, and hopefully I can grow off of it. And we can, as a team, we can get this channel where it needs to be. But I want to say thank you guys, and I'm out.